Class is in session. We're moving on with the book Atomic Attraction. We're on chapter 37, almost through the book. And it's always good to go back over all the other chapters we've done because these build on each other and it's step by step. You know, if you know all the stuff in this book, you'll definitely be more attractive. And that'll get you more dates and get you more romance, get you more sex. But I said I was going to do a couple chapters here because I got behind. And just remember, this book, one of the common themes of it, or one of the bottom lines of this book is always be promoting strength and masculinity to be attractive. And that needs to be, you know, not a gimmick. It needs to be who you are. And remember, men do what they say they're going to do. Women do what they feel like they want to do. So men are reliable. Anyway, that's part of being masculine. If you do what you feel like you want to do, that's feminine. All right. Chapter 37, don't focus on the relationship. Chapter 7 of Atomic Attraction is don't focus on the relationship. Talking about relationships is a surefire way to jinx them. Maggie Grace, facts. As a man, you should be, one of the other common features of masculinity is wanting freedom. And if you're talking about being in committed relationships and stuff like that, that's not freedom. Women will be like, what? Women know men want to be free, or at least the good ones. In all relationships, men and women have assigned roles. These gender roles are not assigned by society or culture, correct. They're assigned by nature, correct. Men have a role, women have a role. And women love men in their roles. Women are biologically driven to seek out masculine men. It's not even controllable. If a woman believes she must take the lead in a relationship, she is being forced to act in a way that runs contrary to their nature. The same thing applies to men that focus on commitment and the relationship. They are also being in a way that runs contrary to their nature, correct? So both, if women are trying to take a lead in a relationship or men are focusing on a relationship, men should be focusing on freedom and women should be focusing on submission in the relationship. And these are all voluntary. These are all done naturally, not, well, you submit, you're going to submit. No, she should want to submit to a man she feels safe with. We all have roles, men and women. The relationship-focused man kills attraction, correct. The relationship-focused man, you should just be going about your life, having fun, not focusing on, what are we? Are we boyfriend, girlfriend? That shows that the man probably doesn't have options either, very beta. Because his behavior is feminine, correct. A study published in the Social Psychology Bulletin explains men who are too caring in relationship and relationship focused are rated less attractive, yes, by women. Highly responsive men believe if they talk about their feelings, they will be able to form a strong connection. No, she will come to that decision herself by you acting like a man. You don't have to mention anything. It should come almost as a surprise. Like, oh God, here we go again, talking about the relationship. Have a stronger connection with the woman and get her to fall in love with her. Get her to fall in love with them. Yep. They believe affirmations of love will make the woman feel more secure in the relationship. No, it'll make her see you as more needy. In reality, anytime you are too responsive, putting the relationship at the forefront of your life, you risk killing attraction 100%. You need to be going and doing your business, like back in the day, men had to slay the dragon because if they didn't, now we have, in civilized society, we have grocery stores, we have, so if we miss a day of work or whatever, it doesn't kill us. But back in the day, dude, you don't kill something that day in hunting or whatever, the man's job was, or get this house built, we could die. So the man couldn't be relationship focused. Now, because we have luxury beliefs to a certain degree, Now we can focus on relationship, but that turns us feminine. You still got to act like a man. You know, we haven't changed in thousands and thousands of years. Although our society and culture has changed, our biology hasn't changed. Responsiveness is measured by researchers. Responsiveness, as measured by researchers, encompasses a series of traits that includes being nurturing, kind, supportive, emotionally available. Surprisingly, counterintuitively, these responsive traits have been found not to kill have found to kill attraction and turn women off. Exactly. How many times have we heard that she wants a man that's emotionally available? No, she doesn't. How many times this is what she wants from the man, the Chad or the alpha who is not supportive, who is not nurturing. And then once you become nurturing and supportive, she gets turned off and she doesn't know why. Do not listen to women on what they want. They will respond to what they want. They will show you with their actions what they want. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what women do. There is no miscommunication if you're watching their actions, and vice versa. That's human beings in general. Case study 26. Never seek love to get love. Never seek love to get love. So it's Nate and Doug, we're banging each other. It says, and they get done with this hot, steamy sex session. And they're hot and sweaty, they're breathing hard, they just got done, they had a great time, and Doug, touches Kate on the arm, and she's like, don't think we're in a relationship. That's what she said to him. And he's like, why not? I think we should talk about the relationship. And she's like, oh my God. And she gets up, puts her clothes on, and goes home and never sees him again. And then there's a guy named, I think his name was Eddie, or what, it could be anybody, but, it talks about Eddie, and then they have a great session, a great sex session. Once again, just like her, Kate and Doug, they were sweaty, they were breathing hard, and she says the same thing to him, don't think we're in a relationship. He's like, why would I do that? He's like, I ain't want one right now. And then she got all insecure, and then it was like a month later, she was all begging him to be committed, and see, he didn't focus on the relationship. He's like, whatever, lady. The woman's always got to come to you for the relationship. She's always got to come to you. Otherwise, it's feminine. Your masculinity, a woman will start to pull away and study your behavior from a distance. If your masculinity tends to, falter, okay? Let's see. A woman has sex with a man. So this is some things they saw that were very feminine type and focusing on the relationship. So here's one scenario. A woman has sex with a man without expressing any emotion or feelings for the man, and the man gets upset. See, that would be feminine, okay? That's the way you should. And the more I got in my 304 phase, back in, starting 2018 for several years, that's what I noticed. I was like, I didn't even realize how women like to just, bang and get the hell out of there. You have to live it, I guess, sometimes. A woman can't see her boyfriend on Valentine's Day, and the man responds by throwing a tantrum. That is very stupid. You should be glad you're not seeing her Valentine's Day. Restaurants are way too crowded on Valentine's Day. It's a commercial holiday anyway. Don't get me started on Valentine's Day. But, a man should just be like, oh, whatever, we'll get together some other time. You're throwing a tantrum because you can't see your girlfriend on Valentine's Day. Extremely feminine. Don't do those things. Man, let's see. Confuses the feelings of lust for love, and tells his girlfriend he is falling in love with her on the third date. Yeah. Women don't fall in love that fast. We saw it in another chapter. Women fall in love. It takes months for a woman to fall in love. It takes weeks for a man. So do not, and sometimes it could have been a bit, like a lot of times for guys, it could be a little while since you've had that good of sex. And, but trust me, probably women have been having more sex than you have. It's just life. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. But she's not going to be happy that you're falling in love on the third date. She has to be more in love than you do, okay? Do not confuse lust with love. In all situations, the man is overly focused on the relationship. You must take the focus off the relationship. Women are relationship focused. Men are mission focused, yes. And that goes back to our need to survive. Men had to, lead things to help the community survive, to help the tribe survive, to help the gang survive, Meaning back in the day we had tribes and gangs, not in a bad way, that's just how we survived. We had groups of people that we, worked through to get stuff done back when it was, hunter-gatherer days, right? And men had to be mission focused. They couldn't be focusing on the relationship with their woman when they would kill shit to live, The moment you subvert this natural dynamic is the moment you kill attraction, correct? By focusing on the woman when you should be focusing on yourself. And we've talked about that. Men are freedom focused. Men are not woman focused. And the minute you start focusing on the relationship, the minute you start investing more in the relationship, the minute you start double texting, the minute you start over calling, the minute you start talking more than she does, the minute your texts start looking longer than hers do, that means you're relationship focused, and that's going to kill her attraction. So as a man, bottom line, it makes it very simple if you just look at it like this. Always be looking to push strength and masculinity, and part of that is a man wants to be free. A man needs to be focused on his mission, okay? And these are natural things. Go have a busy life, go have an active life, and go have a fun life. And women will come, the women that you want, or the women that are good for you, will come into that life and fit in where they need to fit in. Get in where you fit in type thing. This is what I do on Sundays. Like for myself, I play soccer on Fridays, Sundays, Wednesday, whatever, after, most women are off work in the evenings. Well, you'll have to get in to fit in, lady. I can't do it on Fridays, can't do it on Sundays, but if you can do Saturdays, great, So just stuff like that. And women that like you enough will find a way to fit into your schedule. Too often, men are trying to find a way for them to fit into a woman's schedule. So, like I said, always be focusing on your own freedom. Always be putting yourself as the mental point of origin, and only be dealing with women that want to fit into your life. Those are women that have high interest in you. And one of the biggest problems, and I'll probably do a video on it, is men deal with women that have medium to low interest. We deal with the wrong women. And so we think dating is different than it should be. If you're dealing with high interest women, dating is so simple. And it is actually a beautiful thing. And you'll love it. All right? All right, that's chapter 37. I'll see you on the next one.